Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia. I'm your host, Candace Cordelia, and with me today, I have professional wrestler. He's looking in the back. Carlie Bravo. I'm so excited to have you here on the show today. How are you doing, Carlie?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
It really is a pleasure having you here. I've been wanting to chat with you for quite some time, so I'm glad that we were able to link up. It's really exciting watching your career unfold these days. And, as I've been looking at your stuff, seeing what you're doing with All Elite Wrestling and other promotions, I realized that it hasn't been that long since you've been in the professional wrestling game. So,
not at all.
Yes. So congratulations to you, because what you're doing now in such a short amount of time is extraordinary. I want to you're so welcome. And I want to get into that. But first, we have to go back to the beginning, as Hillary Duff would say.
Okay.
We got to take it back to, your beginnings as a child, and how you really got started in wrestling, being a fan first and foremost. I mean, what is the earliest memory that you have watching wrestling and getting into it?
My earliest memory with wrestling would probably be watching. I was probably like 5 or 6, and I was watching Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. I'm an '80s baby. They were rocking it. It was probably like, we're talking about maybe '91. I'd never seen larger than life characters like that. They were like comic book characters come to life. We're talking 6'7" Hulk Hogan in all his red and yellow glory, and Ultimate Warrior running around like a psychopath with the frills and the hair and the face paint. I mean, what kid's not gonna lose their mind, right? That's the earliest thing I can remember about wrestling. And from there, I was hooked. We're talking from there, I got introduced to Bret Hart and Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, Diesel. I mean, it was literally like action figures come to life, It blew my mind. It stuck me from there.
Wow. So did you have any friends that were also into it as well? Did you have like WWE parties or WWF parties? And
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I had parties, but I mean, we was definitely linking up and watching the pay-per-views, right? Like every kid in my demographic, every kid in my age group knew who these guys were. We all was watching them Monday nights. You know what I'm saying? Monday nights was godly, and then you come to school Tuesday, and you talk about everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? It was unreal. You know what I'm saying? Of course, my cousins, my friends at school, everybody.
Nice. So how do you go from being a 5-year-old exuberant fan of wrestling to actually saying to yourself, I want to be a professional wrestler, and carving that path?
I think every kid says that to himself, right? Like, I want to be a wrestler. I think we all said that. I just was crazy enough to actually go for it. Like I was just mental enough to be like, yo, you know what? I think I might like getting punched in the face for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, let's just go for it. It wasn't even a thought. I just had to make the decision to be like, we're doing it, probably the best decision I ever made.
But before even doing professional wrestling as a career, your background is very interesting because you were in the Marine Corps,
yes.
And that's really something that not a lot of people can say that they've done in their life. So before even getting into the professional wrestling aspect of your life, what was that like, being in the Marine Corps and training?
I mean, it was what you thought it was. It was hard and arduous. It was vigorous. It was training. It was tough. I had to really find my inner. I guess you could say, can I say badass? Is that a good one? Is that okay?
Absolutely?
I had to find my inner badass. That's there's no other way to get through something like that. Overseas war, all the other stuff that comes with it. It makes you a certain type of person, iron forges iron, it makes you sharper, and you come out of that different than you went in, obviously, so physical warfare was right up my alley, if you get it, you know what I'm saying? It was perfect for me.
Yeah, and then you went from that type of physical warfare to physical warfare in the ring for wrestling. So,
absolutely.
So what is the bridge? How do you go from being a U.S. Marine to going into professional wrestling and the business of all of that?
I mean, you just do it, I guess it's about meeting the right people. I came out, I knew I needed more than an office job. You can't go from something like that, to bombs exploding and guns going off, and and low crawling through deserts and stuff like that. You can't go from that to sitting in a room and typing on a typewriter or writing up fax forms in an office. You'll lose your mind. So I needed something. I needed something to challenge me. I needed something that would give me the same kind of weird fight or flight adrenaline rush that Marines gave me. And I knew it. Some people are just born for certain things. I've known I'm supposed to be wrestling my entire life. And you ask anybody that's known me, they'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of how I was going to pull it off, how I was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the road that led me there, I didn't know how I was going to end up getting there. I knew eventually it would happen. Didn't know how, and so it kind of just, the doors just opened themselves up for me. It's crazy.
Wow. And you make it sound so seamless. I mean, it's unreal. The fact that we're talking about 2020, which is last year, you started having professional matches.
Yeah.
What is the process like? Like, how did you exactly dive in? Did you just start emailing a bunch of schools and saying, I want to train, or how did it really begin for you?
No. So that story is an interesting one in itself. So I had been doing my rounds. I got out the military. I was living in Atlanta. Made a good name for myself in Atlanta, doing a myriad of things, and I had reached out to a buddy of mine who was a local and indie wrestling legend, Murder One. I think we were friends. He was running a big promotion out here in Atlanta called Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. It was awesome. All the guys anybody who was popping in the South in the indie wrestling was running through there. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew everybody, out there. I had asked Murder One during the pandemic. Hey, I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do. You should teach me how to wrestle. Put me on. And he was like, absolutely not. He was like, nah, I'm not teaching you how to wrestle. He's like, but I do have a friend that I want to put you in touch with. You know what I'm saying? My friend's gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna give him your name. He's probably gonna take a look at you first, and if he likes what he sees, he'll reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? That friend wound up being QT Marshall. Talk about a hell of a friend to have. You know what I'm saying? And so he reached out to me, and I reached back immediately. Obviously I knew who QT Marshall was. I guess he did his homework on me. He said that he had I had a story and a look that he wanted to know more about. And we linked up, we talked, and he introduced me to acts like I've known wrestling my whole life, but I'm talking like actually doing. He was the gatekeeper for getting me into professional wrestling. So yeah, that's QT, between QT and Murder One. They're the ones that found me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And I've had QT on the show, and he's such a humble person. He's a really good guy, and
he's amazing. He's amazing. Best coach in the whole world. Yeah, without a question.
Oh, he'll love to hear that. Absolutely.
We tell him all the time. He doesn't care. The best coach in the whole world. My coach is a man. I'm honored. I'm lucky to have him as my guy.
Yes. So let's get into the Nightmare Factory. It's becoming quite the hub for up and coming wrestlers to get quality training with quality trainers like Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes. What's it like training with those guys and being at the compound?
Glacier, 10 from Dark Water, 5 from Dark Water. I mean, we have some of the best trainers there that come in and really, Baron Black, like the guys that come there and they shut it down for us and they teach us so many things. We literally learn from the greatest minds in wrestling. What's it like? Surreal, mind blowing. You get what I'm saying? Especially coming in as knowing that you've been a fan for wrestling your whole life, and you just happen to be one of the people that might have what it takes to actually make this dream come true and translate over. So you're in there, you're trying to stay focused and try not to geek out because, somebody you've been watching your whole entire life just walked by and he's teaching you how to do a body slam. It's crazy. That's the real answer. It's bugged out. It's bugged out, but it's awesome. It gives you a real appreciation for the business. I know that I'm learning from the best. It has become, the Nightmare Factory has become a spot for who's who in up and coming wrestling. If you look at the last couple of classes that's graduated from Nightmare Factory, you see some of the top students all over AEW. You get what I'm saying? Some of the guys are all over indie wrestling, platforms everywhere, from GCW to Progress to Defy. They're everywhere. You get what I'm saying? So Nightmare Factory has really become, the spot, to find the next generation of where wrestling's going.
For sure. And it's helped you out immensely as we've seen you on AEW Dark, AEW Dark Elevation, having these really cool, you got to pat yourself on the back, having these really cool matches.
Yeah.
You're in, I can't even say the peak, you're just starting in your career and you're on AEW Dark.
We're just getting started, baby. This ride just started. We're still going up. We ain't even started on this roller coaster yet. Yeah. It's crazy. It is. But what you got?
Oh no, go ahead.
It's just a testament to the factory. We work hard. They work us hard. They make sure that we do the work. That's the slogan. Do the work. DTW. That's all we do in there. We go in there. We work hard. And it's not like a once a week thing. We're in there every single day training, no matter what we got going on. Working on our craft to make sure that we're the best us that we can be. Not just the best professional wrestlers. There's a lot of professional wrestlers in wrestling. We're the best us. You feel me?
Yeah. And it's, I mean, for us seeing this, it's surreal, right? Because you have to stress, or at least I want to stress, that all of this is happening within a global health pandemic, right? So yes. Everything that you're experiencing in your career and your life is going during a very hectic time. It's a very, it's a time where things aren't what they seem, or we don't know what's happening, and so forth and so on. So talk to us about just that type of instability that you're seeing externally around you, and making sure that you're disciplined and focused on the task at hand in order to really elevate your career as a pro wrestler.
It was actually, I'm going to twist that. It's actually easier because the world was silent and everything was quiet. It was the perfect opportunity for us that were picked, to go to the factory to focus. It was like, well, at least for me, it was like radio silence. It was like the universe telling me, hey, listen, everything is stopping. I have a lot of stuff going on. I be doing things. I'm out here. I'm a personality. I'm Carlie Bravo. You know what I'm saying? So it was life telling everything else, like, stop it. This is what's important. You know what I'm saying? And the payoff. It was like, the analogy someone used for us was like, some of us were like seeds, some of us were like seeds, and the pandemic was the time that we needed to flower. And what you guys are seeing is our flowering and our maturation of what we're becoming, it's crazy. I will say Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall were the guys that planted those seeds, and what you guys are seeing is the fruits of that labor. It was bumped out, and it gave us time. We needed that. We needed that because it wasn't even just a us thing, like that gave them time to give us stuff, like I'm a pandemic baby as far as like wrestling goes. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody started getting to know me through the pandemic and from the pandemic and everything. When live crowds started, I started on AEW with no crowd. You get what I'm saying? Which is excruciatingly nerve-wracking, because now you're getting beat up. And you're hearing all the sounds in the empty arena. You're getting, your face kicked in. It's ridiculous. It's super nerve wracking to now performing for 15, 20,000 people. It's super crazy. It's crazy.
Do you think it was better for you getting your start during the time that you got your start and to not have crowds though? Do you think that if there were crowds, it would have jarred you in a sense, if that makes any sense? Or
I'm a people guy. I'm the loud one. I'm the wild, reckless Nightmare Factory one. I'm that guy. So crowds just make me better. I needed that. I'm not a stranger to crowds. So it wouldn't have made a difference. I'm glad that it happened though. Because like I said, your path to where you're going is different. I would have never in a million years imagined I'd be a pro wrestler. Never imagined in a million years I'd be a pro wrestler that was performing in front of zero crowd against Hall of Famers, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and they're chopping me and I'm literally hearing my chops through the rafters. Like, what am I doing? Like, how is this happening? But it wouldn't have made a difference. You know, if the crowd was there, I'd have fed off of it. But it did teach me. It gave me time to learn. I was able to learn so much, you know, and now the connection is so much deeper now, you know, because now it gave the fans time to really get to know me as well, you know, like, because they had to watch me at home and really invest in me with nothing. They got to see me. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what is the most valuable thing, crowds aside, that you've learned during your training with all of these luminaries in the business?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Good question. I would say something QT says all the time. If you do the work, you'll be rewarded. You know, like, that's it. And I don't mean, like, that doesn't necessarily mean monetarily and not like that, but if you do the work and anything that you're trying to do, 100%, something is gonna come from it. You don't work for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you know, it's been telling. You know, wrestling is it's a different kind of industry. You know, it's different. It's fast paced. It's you have to be on your game. You know, there's always somebody else trying to get to that next spot. So you got to be ready. You know, and there's not a lot of room for new guys to make their stamp. You have to work really, 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 really hard. You know, and we have big shoes to fill. You know, it's not like just regular guys are like, hey, these are our friends, let them wrestle. We've got the Prince of Pro Wrestling, and possibly the biggest heel in all of wrestling right now, as our trainers. You know, they're saying, hey, these are our guys. You know, so we've got to really, you know, we've really got to make sure that when we step correct. And the only way we can do that is by working hard and doing the work and making sure that we are honest with ourselves and humble with ourselves and not afraid to fail. It's been such a lesson to learn, you know, and I don't like learning lessons. I like having fun, you know, so, like, it's been crazy.
Well, I would assume also having the military background that you have really gave you an advantage in many various ways to carving out a career in pro wrestling. But is there something that you didn't expect when you stepped into pro wrestling that you were like, wow, I don't feel I was even prepared for this type of rigor in the industry?
Wrestling is hard. I knew that was going to happen. You know, so a lot of people see the glitz and the glam. I didn't realize how much work goes outside the ring to be ready inside the ring. I would say that's what it was. Like, you know, mentally, physically, you know, nutritionally, financially, there's so much that you have to do outside the ring just to be ready for that 20, 30 minutes in the ring. You know, we're only in the ring, you know, 15, 20 minutes a week, you know, as far as like what you guys see on television. You know what I'm saying? There's so much that goes into us being ready for those 15, 20 minutes, you know, and I mean, that means from being able to take a punch, being able to throw a punch, to looking like a superstar, to being a superstar, to conducting yourself like a superstar. You know, there's so much involved. I didn't know about all that. You know, I'm a Marine. You know, we make things go boom and we shoot things. You know, we're pretty to the point. You know, I've had to learn so much business, you know, as far as for wrestling, you know, and it's been, again, like I said, I keep saying, but it's a huge learning experience, you know, 100%. It's wonderful to learn as well, you know.
Let's talk about nutrition and finances.
Okay.
I don't really get a chance, or rather I don't ask too much about nutrition, but it's something that personally fascinates me, particularly when it comes to pro wrestling, because I would just imagine that you have to follow a very strict regimen. But what is that like for you in terms of nutrition diet?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is different. You just gotta take care of yourself. You know, I eat a lot because I like to eat a lot. You know, it's just, you know, you get your meal preps, you do what you know, so you make sure you don't eat like crap. You know, you gotta make sure that we want to look like superstars. In order to look like superstars, you have to eat like a superstar. You got to train like a superstar. You know, I can't eat 7 Big Macs, even though I could. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm going to come to TV and I'm going to look like Slop Jalop. Nobody wants to do that.
So wait, are there no cheat days, or do you have like, what for a cheat meal, quote unquote cheat meal?
For a cheat meal, what would I eat? Probably a bunch of burgers.
Okay.
I like breakfast food, so a lot of breakfast food, pastas and stuff. You know, I like sweets, like brownies and cookies and stuff. You know, I don't really have cheat meals. I have cheat days.
Okay.
You know, where I just eat all day what I want to eat. quite marvelous, actually.
That sounds heavenly. I can't knock that, and you got to
I
treat
work
yourself.
hard. I deserve to have a day off, right?
Exactly.
Facts,
Exactly.
facts.
And I also want to get into finances. This is a topic that I'm starting to see is becoming more popular when we're talking about not even just in wrestling, in sports in general. You have
Yeah.
athletes who are starting to really think about the long term when it comes to their careers, and thinking about even retirement, where their funds are going, retirement, 401ks, all of that. Where are your thoughts about finances and how you're managing your money, and the way you see the wrestling business changing in that respect?
I don't know. I'm only a year in, so I haven't gotten that far into it. I think, I mean, go get some money, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get some money. Wrestling, I wrestle to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I don't know. I hope that people are saving their money from wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I've only been in for a year, so I don't have enough back end on the other side to speak about what it's looking like as far as that's concerned. I do know that it's very important because, like I said, it takes a lot to be a wrestler. It takes a lot to be a wrestler. You do have to make sure you have good gear. You do have to make sure you can get to all these shows from one place to another. You do have to make sure that you can file your taxes and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes into it. This is a job. My coach always tells me. Coach Rhodes always says the first thing about being a wrestler, you're a professional wrestler. You're a wrestler second. You're a professional first. And this is your job. You have to treat this like a job. You have to make sure you keep your receipts, file your taxes. Invest in yourself. Because you are your brand. So that's that.
Yeah, yeah. What do your loved ones think about your career as a wrestler? What's the feedback you're getting?
I mean, everybody loves it. They're proud of me. I mean, I don't know any wrestlers where I'm from. I'm from New York. I don't know a single wrestler where I'm from. So everybody's pretty much they love it. It's lit. It's cool. And as far as even in Atlanta, I'm in Atlanta right now. That's where I live. I've been here for a couple of years, and don't nobody know no wrestlers out here. I'm the wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So it's mad lit. It's cool. I go places. I hang out. Go out at night. Go to the club. I'm the wrestling guy. And it's super dope.
Yeah. What's your take on the Atlanta wrestling scene? Because it seems like it's booming at this point.
Yeah, now we're getting some good questions.
Yeah.
Atlanta wrestling scene is amazing. The Atlanta wrestling scene is incredible. Indie wrestling scene out here is booming, full of talent. There's so many talented men and women that are just kicking butt. See that? That's a butt. They're kicking it all over the place, yo. They're killing it. They're doing shows from this city to that city. Georgia, it's not even Atlanta wrestling scene, it's the Georgia wrestling scene. The Southern wrestling, the Southeast wrestling scene out here. I can't even just say Georgia. Florida, Georgia, Alabama. You got some of the best talent in the world are coming from out of here, and they're going everywhere. They're getting signed from everybody. It's crazy out here. It's like the wild west of wrestling.
That's what it seems like, and especially in the past 2 years,
Yeah.
Wild West I would term it as such as well, because there's been so much happening in the South in general with wrestling, and it's only getting bigger. So you picked a really great time to get it.
Yes. It's crazy out here. My group, Overkill, just happens to be the number one group in the South of all of wrestling. So we're pretty much running it out here. But there's a lot of guys out here that's making big waves. A lot of ladies out here that are just killing it. So it's really, really cool to see.
Yes. And when's the last time that you've been up to New York?
Oh, I was up in New York earlier this year, actually. Okay. Yes. I'm always going back and forth. I travel a lot. I'm always out there. AEW was just there, Arthur Ashe Stadium. So we had a great time up there. It was a good time. Yes.
And what was that experience like with Grand Slam? And it was such a huge show.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Being a New York native, it's just wonderful to see. I love pro wrestling, and I love pro wrestling being in the city in New York. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than New York to me. There's the big city feel. Automatically, no matter what happens, no matter what event is happening in New York, it's a big fight feel because it's a big city feel. So I love it.
Yes. What's the one thing that you missed about New York upon going back?
The food. Yeah,
I believe
the food. You know, I got my spots, my people, you know, with the food, 100%. You know, it seems like you can get any kind of food you want anywhere in New York, you know, so that's what hits me.
So is it not the same in Georgia or in Atlanta when it comes to the food, or is it
I
just?
didn't say that. I didn't say that. Georgia got, you know, Atlanta's food game is on point. Atlanta got a different type of food out here, you know. I love that food in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. They'll call me feline forever. I love Atlanta. The place is amazing. But it's just different. It's just different. It's not home. It's just different.
Yeah, yeah. Was there one thing when you moved to Atlanta that really shocked you in terms of culture?
It's just a lot of soul here. That's how I'm gonna say it. A lot of soul, a lot of culture here. You know, I love that about Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's culture, its roots are deep here. You know, you really feel at home here. You know what I'm saying? It's really, you know, it just feels good to be. You know, it's like a lion in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? It just feels good to be around where you're supposed to be around. You know, Atlanta just has this home feeling. You know, it's like freaking Wakanda or something. You dig what I mean? It's pretty awesome.
I have not been to Atlanta yet, but you know, I wouldn't have thought Wakanda. You know what?
You can feel it. You know, it's like a family feeling. Atlanta is it's like home base, and it's crazy. I've only been here for a couple of years, well, a good amount of years, but it accepts everybody. You know, it's a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm. You know, I would love to know who Carlie Bravo is just aching to get into the ring with that you have not.
Yeah. Oh, who would I love to get in the ring with? I'm not gonna take the cliche route. I'll say anybody. You know, but right now, this last year, I pretty much hit a lot of my targets. This next year, who do I want to get in the ring with? Who do I want to get in the ring with? If I get in the ring with anybody, there's a good amount of guys out there, man. I'll say Big Bad Kaiju, O'Shea Edwards, Anthony Ogogo. I wanted to shut his mouth for years. I'd love to work with any of those guys from the Dark Order. They're freaking amazing, right? And I'll say anybody from STP. You know, those STP boys are mean. AJ Gray, you know what I'm saying? Effie. I'd love to work around with Effie. You know, Frontman Ja. Woo! I'd love to work with Frontman Ja. Gosh, man, there's Myron Reed. You know what I'm saying? He's a problem. There's a lot of problems out there. I want to fight a lot of guys. JD Drake. You know, there's a lot of dudes out there. I want to throw hands with. You know, I want to chop it up with. You know, I think I want to go to just people's cities and just get busy. You know, I want to see how that would go.
Those are excellent choices, you know, and we've seen JD.
Oh, thank you, man.
At AEW, you know, we're seeing an influx of people coming into AEW, and especially with all of the rapid changes that are happening in the industry itself. What do you think about everything that's taken place just within the past few months with the different promotions and all of the things that we're noticing through wrestling news?
Wrestling is the best it's ever been. That's what I think. I think that we're seeing something that we've never thought we'd be able to see, with different promotions, tagging different promotions and different matchups hitting. And there's wrestling everywhere you look. I could watch wrestling all day long, and it doesn't even have to be the same promotion. You've got professional wrestling. You've got sports entertainment wrestling. You've got, you got your Joshi Japanese wrestling. You know, you've got your strong style European wrestling. I mean, there's so much. You get your lucha style in Mexico. There's so much wrestling that you could look everywhere, and it's beautiful. You know, it doesn't have to be the same wrestling, and all the wrestling is just commingling and mixing together and making itself like a nice little wrestling stew. You know, I love it. I love it. And to be a wrestling fan right now is no better time. You know, to be a wrestling student right now is no better time, because everything is mixing. I'm learning so much from so many different places. You know, it's mind blowing.
Wrestling stew. It's a tasty wrestling stew. I like that.
Yeah. See that there? See that there?
Yeah, for sure. What are your goals going into 2022?
2022. 2021 was a great year for me. 2021, I basically kicked the door down. If I'm not pro wrestling's rookie of the year, there's only one other person that can have claim to that spot. That's Jade. Jade had one hell of a year.
Yes.
I'll give her that. There's no one else that I'll say can have. Shout out to Jade. That's the homie. There's nobody else I can say they had a rookie year like Carlie Bravo had a rookie year. My name should be on that list. But we're on to 2022. We gotta go bigger. I've really been focusing. Me and my group Overkill has been killing it. I'd like to see us go way bigger. There's a lot of factions out there that I'd like for us to try our hand against and make our name even bigger for. I'd like to see myself against some of the biggest up-and-comers now, other up-and-comers from other cities, that are doing their thing. Me and Captain Sean Dean are doing our tag team, the Infantry. I'd really like us to solidify that and just go place to place and just do our thing. I love tag team wrestling. I've fallen in love with tag team wrestling lately. The process of it, going to war. I'm a Marine. Going to war with your buddies is what we do. And there's nothing better than going in the trenches and having somebody next to you and knowing that, while I'm hitting you with the right, they're hitting you with the left. It's just a great feeling to know, So I would really love to really attack the tag team scene this next year. And get signed to freaking AEW, man. I want that graphic. What are we talking about? Carlie Bravo's All Elite. That's gonna be the graphic soon. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Yes, we have to put it into the universe. And the fans love you. When I personally witnessed seeing you for the first time come out on All Elite Wrestling and just looking at social media, there was an instant bond that I saw.
Yeah, man.
That people were like, "Oh, who is this guy?" We're like, we love his entrance. He has an it factor. These are things that I read on these comment boards. So it's working for you. Whatever you're doing is working.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I love that, man. I appreciate the fans too. It's crazy. I had no idea. I'm out there wrestling. I'm out there just trying to fight. Everyone else tells me all this stuff. So it's been a blessing. I just love the response. I love that they I feel a connection with people too. Right. You can't be afraid to talk to people and let them in, man. I feel like the fans see that. I am overly blessed to be getting the reaction that I get from the fans. So, even you guys, thank you guys for me wanting to interview me, man. This is lit.
You're so welcome. You're really, really welcome. And like I said, what you're doing is it's giving people something to root for, and folks are really gravitating towards it and they love it. So whatever it is, we're going to see that All Elite, that All Elite banner.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. I promise you. I'll be the first person to have an after party after an All Elite signing. I promise you it's going to get lit. You're invited. Invite everybody.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And it's going to be in Atlanta.
Well, that gives me even more reason to show up because
Come on, let's get it.
Absolutely. What's your advice for any little kid, that sees what you're doing on the screen and is just enamored with everything and would love to know how they could be a part of the wrestling industry, even whether they want to be a wrestler or whatever it is that they choose to do?
Simple. Do it. If you're over 18, eat your vitamins, say your prayers. Somebody should say that, and just do it. Just do it. I'm a big dream chasing guy. You can literally do whatever you want to do if you just decide to go and do it. It might be some stumbling blocks. Some people might not get it. Some people might not understand it. The closest people to you might think that you're crazy. But if you can see it, you can achieve it. Just go do it, And when you do it, make sure you do it to the best that you can do it so that you can yell it from the rooftops and tell everybody that you did it better than anybody that ever thought that you would ever do it. It's 1 + 1 always equals 2. Just go do it. Just go do it.
I love it. So inspirational. And you know what? I have to give a shout out because this was actually a really bright moment this year with your picture with Abaddon. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to that.
Yeah, thank you. Abaddon, I'm terrified of her, but she is She is the nicest zombie you've ever met. I love her to death. I have to say I love her from afar because if you get too close to her, she'll bite you. But she's wonderful. She's wonderful, and that was a cool moment. I think everybody had a good laugh with that.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It was like, with the whole viral Jungle Boy Anna J photo.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it's Carlie Bravo.
Yeah. I woke up and saw myself on Google the next day. That blew my own mind. Like that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome the reach that All Elite Wrestling has, not just in wrestling, but as we're seeing things percolate in mainstream media and being able to Google your name and seeing something that you've put on social media just blow up like that.
Yeah.
It can be a heady experience, but it seems like you're definitely taking things in stride, Carlie. So
absolutely. I try to, I've never went viral before. That was my first time, hopefully we can do that again sometime, but yeah, definitely. And you just have to have a good head about it, man. You can't be a jerk. You just gotta, I try to keep, I want fans to know that I'm with them. I'm approachable. I'm not the guy who's going to rush to my limo after a show. You know what I'm saying? I want them to know that we family, we in here, we doing this together. You dig what I mean? So I try to let that come across, and, take me, and I feel like they're getting it.
So my last question for you, Carlie, is you mentioned, you want to do obviously more in All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
Can we see you in any more matches for the end of the year? Is there anything coming up with Dark Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage?
Listen, Carlie Bravo is without question, America is without question the hottest freaking thing that AEW is about to have on their hands. I think everybody pretty much knows that. I ain't going nowhere. Look for me and Sean Dean to really be putting a dent in this tag team division. They need a little spice in their life. They're a bunch of uncooked chicken. We need to put some sazon on that thing. You know what I'm saying? We need to grill it on America Day. I want to come out there and you guys are going to see me tons. What you got this year was like a small taste, like a small taste. Next year, it's Carlie Bravo year. It's infantry year. You're going to see me like everywhere. You're going to get sick of me. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to get sick of seeing you guys. It's going to be wonderful.
And we're just going to all get sick of each other.
and it's like a family thing, It's like, Ma, I love you, but I've seen you too much. Can you go back home now? It's going to be great. Watch.
Fair enough, but it's all good because you know what? More work equals more work, more blessings. And
more work equals more money, baby. More blessings. We're doing all of that. Yes.
There you go. But thank you so much, Carlie Bravo.
Thank you guys.
You're so welcome. It's been great meeting you. I would love to do this again in person.
Yes. I cannot wait. You'll probably be seeing me in person very, very soon. It has been an honor. Thank you for the interview. Keep an eye on me. We're still going up. We got a lot of juice left in this cruise, so we're moving.
I believe it. Thank you once again, Carlie. And thank you all for watching another episode of FaceTurn with Candace Cordelia, where we give you the exclusives and scoops on all of your favorite wrestlers. Stay tuned. And until next time, see you later.
Bye-bye.